Yes, we're here at the park, at the Oak Park Farmers Market. We're right behind it. It's so nice to be out. Hi, everyone who's watching the replay. This is something that me and Halley are doing that's new. It's called Two Geminis, Two Questions, because we're both Geminis, and we both got questions for each other, and we're just going to have an organic, raw conversation. And feel free to comment. We will check the comments after when we chit-chat. But yeah, she has a question for me. I have a question for her. I feel like this idea is cool because, I mean, we always talk and we have some great conversations, y'all. It'll always be about life, the self-love journey, anything in between that, the healing. So yeah, it's kind of a nice surprise for both of us to do this because I don't know what she's gonna ask me. She don't know what I'm about to ask her. Okay, so we're just gonna start. Okay, who went first last time?
I feel like...
Or how do you want to do it? You want to go first?
What happened?
You want to ask first?
I
think you asked me first. Yeah, I was
receiving
receiving.
first.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Should we switch?
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Receive. It is on the topic of love. Your
So
favorite.
is mine.
That's interesting. So my question to you is, what is your how has your definition of love changed from before when you started the healing journey,
Dude,
to today?
it's like my same
Oh my
exact
God.
question.
That's so funny.
That's hilarious.
We're Geminis, so hello. Anyway.
Wow.
Okay.
Let's see. So
Yeah, has it changed? Is it the same, or there's just certain tweaks, or
it's
just
changed
curious.
So much.
Okay.
It's changed so much. And yeah, I think it's more like the feeling has changed in terms of what love feels like to me.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
I think that I was very caught in the fairy tale narrative of love, right? As we all are. That's the conditioning.
Yeah.
We get conditioned to believe that love is supposed to look this certain way and it's supposed to be this like perfect, flawless match. And once you find them, then you're okay. And then you can like live your life, and then you can be the person that you've always wanted to be. You know? And that you're not whole until that happens. And so you spend your time and energy and your thinking like seeking this other, because
fairy
until
tale.
you have that, right?
Yeah.
You're the sleeping beauty, like Pat, literally like not even awake, right? You need the lover to activate you and wake you up so that you can do yourself. To have a life.
That's so Sleeping Beauty is so perfect on that.
Right?
Like the consciousness or
and
the
I think
awareness.
Snow White, too, was unconscious. Right? So there's this like association between like,
oh my God.
before you have your love, you are like an unconscious, not present, not even alive being, you know? And so that longing is so extreme and it's so intense because there's so much weight on this idea that this other person is going to come in and complete you and like love you in all of your places. So obviously, like my life's work has been like deconditioning that.
Yes.
And like
okay.
releasing that and trying to like build, like trying to pioneer being part of the movement of like what secure, healthy attachment really looks like.
Yeah.
You know. And I think that for me, it's like rooted in freedom. It's rooted in freedom and trust. You know? It's not about having this like hold on someone or someone having this hold on you.
Ooh,
right?
Like how you said that is just, and people feel like they need to have that hold, but the way that you're like saying it right now, it feels kind of trapped.
Yeah.
Feels like a lot of pressure. Suffocating
so
maybe a little
much
bit.
Pressure.
Oh, yeah.
And we all know what we all reject feeling pressured.
Totally.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
Nobody does well. I mean, some people kind of like thrive under pressure and under stress or whatever. But I know for me, like I don't.
That's
like,
not
I
where you
thrive the best when I feel the most free, the most accepted.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that like basically at this point, the definition of love for me is like I see and honor your light and your glory and your shadow and your woundedness.
Right? All of it.
And I'm going to do my very best not to judge it. And I'm going to do my very best to like let you see me in all of that. And I'm going to do my very best, and this is the hardest part, to not judge myself.
And that's where the work is.
That's where the major work is. And so, like, we talk about this all the time. Like, self-love is the practice of loving others, you know?
Yeah. You love others so much better. And you know the non-judgment that you're talking about, that it's almost like dissolves, or you process. You see it judging and you're able to process and then go into, acceptance.
Yeah.
Like, oh, watch myself judging people. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
like
work.
These insecure points, it's like we have to like meet ourselves with love when we're feeling insecure. We have to meet ourselves with love when we're feeling jealous. We have to meet ourselves with love when we're feeling the like fear of loss, because like all of that is so human and so gonna happen.
Yes.
And it can be, they can be the destroyer of a relationship and of a connection.
Oh, yeah.
If it's not met with like compassion. I honestly, though, I haven't been in a committed relationship since my definition has evolved. So I haven't really, I've been practicing it with platonic relationships, like really deep, like soulful, heartful platonic connections that I have, because I have several of them, and so I get to practice, but it's not quite the same, when you're not having sex, basically.
Yes, the romantic part, the intimate partner, really going deeper in the intimacy. Yeah.
But my whole dating journey and my whole romantic journey in my life has been the thing that's like evolved my perspective.
Totally.
I think that another piece is that, the reason why I say freedom is that if someone is choosing to do their life without you being a part of it, like that freedom piece is so important, because it's like let them choose what they're choosing so that you can be free. Because if you're trying to be a part of someone's life that isn't choosing that, it's the worst bondage. And that's where I've learned, like, the majority of my lessons.
I feel like that's so many of us. Yeah.
And we can't take it personally, and we just have to, like, let people be, and, like, really, like, make up for that feeling of rejection, that feeling of not being chosen, that feeling of being, like, not what someone wants.
Yes. Yeah. Not being chosen, rejection. Yeah. All of that. We feel so much. Yeah.
So then we have to do the part where we fill all of that back in, so that we can attract and manifest partnership from a whole place.
Exactly.
And not a half place or a quarter place.
And I feel that that's the opportunity when we do part from that partner, when it does like fall apart or whatnot. And that's how I felt. I feel like I have so much to catch up with myself, because I've woken up. I was like, I have missed out on being with me for all these years. So I relate with what you're saying. Like, okay, it's like you're making up to yourself.
Yeah.
Or your inner child, your inner teenager, like, I'm so sorry. I left you.
Yeah.
I'm back now. Let's talk. What have you been going through? Okay, I'm here for that now.
Yes.
Oh, so much self-discovery. So.
Oh, wait, another thing that I just want to say really quick.
Yeah.
I think that the thing that's become really important for me is that I become fully responsible for my own needs. This has been
biggest difference. Yeah.
Biggest difference.
Woo!
Because when you're not being responsible for your own needs, and I have my moments where I'm wanting someone else to fulfill my needs because I'm feeling like low or down or whatever.
Yeah.
You immediately go into this, like, to a victim mindset. you know, where you like need to be saved. It's the damsel
It's like
in
kind of
distress
needy,
trope.
right? It's like,
Yeah, and then that's when the expectations come along. So if like your well-being is fully 100% your responsibility and the thing that you're the most committed to in life, you know, then the love part just gets to be like extra. It's not like fundamental. The fundamental is like what you have for yourself.
Exactly. Right there. That simple practice of, let me take responsibility. What I feel like I need from others. Can I actually create that experience for myself? That's the challenge, everybody. When you need something from someone, can you do it yourself, or do you actually do need support on that, right? I feel like that's an interesting place to be.
Yeah, and sometimes part of accepting responsibility for your own needs is knowing when you have to ask for support.
Yes, you are allowed to ask for help. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for answering. It makes total sense that you're recognizing your old fairy tale version of what love looks like. And it makes total sense that you haven't been in a relationship because before you were in relationships with that fairy tale belief. And so as you're breaking through that, like the universe, I feel like it's responding to how you're healing yourself and loving yourself. So they're showing you, look, you could still experience love. It doesn't have to look like intimacy with like sex and all of that.
The universe is giving me very ample time
yes,
and
the
space
yes.
to redefine this narrative.
Yeah, because it's been ingrained for so long, and you get all the time in the world to do that.
And I'm like so down to do love well. It's like such a priority for me. So I used to I've been in this like tension and this rejection with like how long it's taking, but I'm like, no, it can take its time, as much time as it needs for for a situation that really resonates and really works and is really healthy and can be the thing that I'm looking for.
Yeah.
I'm just like done with the old pattern, and it takes time for old patterns
to break.
Yeah.
And like my experience of you're always breaking through when something comes up, your old beliefs, you're like, yep. It's almost like there's this like a determination that you have, because you'll always bring it up.
Yeah.
So I'm getting rid of this. And then the universe is like, yeah, we see you. Here's all the support. Here you go. Here you go.
Totally.
So it's been wonderful to see your experience with deconditioning the old beliefs. Oh my gosh. So I'm very proud of you. It's like resiliency. I'm always like telling like Pila, she's going like your celibacy, right? Like you've been so strong.
Pila's a role model for that.
Yes.
Pila's a role model.
He was like, I'm telling you, like, yes, there's difficult parts. You do get lonely, and though the growth, it propels your growth so much, and it can be distracting.
Propels your growth so much.
Yeah, you get to meet you're meeting with all your insecurities. You get that to meet all of that.
Yeah.
With so much love, and you're healing,
and to not be yeah, exactly. But to not be using that escapism and to break down this idea that if we're not being sexually active with someone, then we're like not enough, or there's some unworthiness. Like it brings
something wrong with us. Nobody wants me.
Exactly.
Oh.
Which is why it's rad when it's just like the choice that you're making until it's a really nice aligned situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's almost like your body's like, we don't have time for that. Like we've been through enough stress, enough of that. We know what the old beliefs are. What's going to trigger that? What's going to trigger the healing? So, yeah. Great work.
Okay.
Great work.
So my question for you is basically the same question, but the way that I was framing it in my mind, the language I was using was, what does it mean for you to love well?
Oh my God.
At this stage in your journey.
You're so funny.
Yeah.
I love what my partner has mentioned. I love what Pila has mentioned, the absence of judgment. That's how I see loving others well, and that will not exist if I'm not catching myself when I'm not loving well and then loving well. The challenge every day for me is okay, did I get myself a practice in yet? Because I it's so crazy with this journey, like what you said, you get to tune in so much into yourself, and so you're catching all how you feel. If I feel, it's almost like so many of us go through life with the anxiety, but we don't know that that's anxiety. Or we go through like stress or depression and we don't know that that's depression. We just like take it on, and because of what's been modeled to us, that's normal to feel that way. So it's like with, you know, my breakdown, my downfall, to like be open to what self-love is. It's like I really wanted to discover what it would be like to love myself.
Yeah.
And that's loving well, like loving myself so much that it's like I just really recognize that inner best friend with myself. Like, girl, like I cannot afford to leave you at this point. Like, holy shit. Like, and I even notice it still flares up to this day, you know? And so it's been great to recognize that, and then knowing that that's an area that I need to love. Like shame. Okay, Quynh, that means you still need to continue loving yourself. My codependency, that flares up all the time. And I get to meet that, and then lean into the uncomfortableness, especially when I'm leaving his presence. I lean to the uncomfortableness, like I get to spend time with myself, and oh, there we go. It's like this bridge that I'm crossing every day. Like I've spent time with my partner, and then when we're done doing whatever, he has his own things to take care of. I know I have my responsibilities of life to take care of, and it's kind of like, okay, let's just take one step to the other side of the bridge, and then it's like, hey, I'm back with myself. So it's just so been great. And so yeah, like quickly, I mean, there's just so many things that you've mentioned, and like simply put, to love well means to love myself so well. So when I see people have the capacity to really like see them and like have the space to bring myself to where they're at too.
Yeah.
And, you know, I've been going through some grieving, and I was just talking to my sister yesterday about grieving, and we were just talking about the best ways that we feel so seen and loved or supported is people feeling with us.
Yeah.
And, you know, and we were also talking about some unhelpful things that we've experienced when we're grieving, when people say, and it's from family most of the time, you know, like, I love my mom. I always mention my mom. Mom, love you. I know you're doing the best that you can. But, you know, I was like sobbing in my room because all this shame came up, where I wish I took better care of Duke, and I was just sobbing in my room, and, you know, my mom heard me, so she came in, gave me a hug, you know, like petted me a little bit, and she was just like, it's okay, you know, he's up there playing with the dogs, and she goes, move on. I was like, mama, that's like what you don't say. But so you see, like, loving well to me looks like in that moment is like being able to have the capacity and the depth to like just be.
Yeah.
And I understand, and even beyond that, understanding beyond how people don't show you love well or the ways that you need to, even understanding even deeper, that's the depth that they have to handle pain, feeling pain with somebody. Especially if you haven't like visited that often with yourself, you're going to be a little uncomfortable. You're like, oh, I don't have the space for that right now, you know. It's like, I'm sorry you're going through that. Let me go somewhere else.
Right, which is such a good point, right? Like the deeper we go with our own pain, we're really just like creating this amazing capacity to like hold others in their pain in that moment, in that beingness, which is the most healing, loving you can do somebody.
Yeah. So yeah, loving well to me is loving myself well. I just see it through my relationships with other people, and it's challenging, especially families. Fucking challenging as fuck, but that's information for me to know. This is going to be a process of healing with my relationship with my family, for an example, you know, and with myself.
Totally.
Yeah.
I loved the non-judgment thing and the way that connects, like when you were describing when you are with your partner and then you separate and then you're crossing that bridge, right? And your codependency habits of mind are flaring up. And it's like being able to not judge yourself there, right there, where the old is coming back.
And it's like, wait, I still have this? I thought I'm healed.
I still have this. How annoying, right? It's so easy to go into judgment when we've made a lot of progress on our journey, and then like the old patterns flare up. And for some of us, with depending on kind of like our history with our attachment wounding, like that's gonna flare up for the rest of our life, right? We're gonna have these flare-ups, but the key is like with what energy do you meet it with?
Exactly.
Do you meet it with judgment or do you meet it with love? And if you meet it with love, then you can just like, it just becomes so clean and easy.
Yes.
It's just like, okay, and now we can move on.
It's almost like, depending on how you're meeting yourself there, it could take a while to cross that bridge.
Yeah.
And now it's like I see it, it's almost like I'm witnessing it. And it's like, that's the past behavior. And it just reminds me of how I was back then. I wouldn't want to leave. Like once we hang out, it's like, oh, so what are we going to do now? Mm-hmm. I told him this too. It's like, so I can hang out with you. You're going to be at home with your niece and nephews. Oh, I can I have some work to do, but I can stay. I can do it there. Oh my God. It's hilarious.
Yes.
Watching that. So it's almost like being so aware, like witnessing it. And because I've crossed that bridge so many times, it's like, okay, Quynh, just say your goodbye and your kissies, get in the car. And then once I arrive in the car, I'm like, and then I start driving, I'm like, okay. And then I get excited about returning back to me and what I get to do and like the time. So it's been a journey.
Having a love affair with self.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's how I would, that's the question, right? How do you love well today? Like where you are today, how do you love well? Yeah, I need to continue loving myself so much.
I know.
And watching when I don't have the capacity to love on someone right now, you know, like really give them the love, right? Because people want that all the time. And just recognizing, you know what, this is all I can give to you today and be good with that. And not judging myself for that too.
Yes.
Right?
That's huge.
Like for an example, there's a family member at home. I see that they're in so much pain and I want to give them so much love. And I know that takes a lot of space. So giving myself permission to be like, when that's a big space to take. Like, let's just continue to tune inward.
Well, it's interesting, right? The codependency thing. Because, like, sometimes I'll watch, like, we all have our codependency flare-ups.
Oh, yeah.
But if someone's having a codependency flare-up with me, where I'm watching them having a codependency flare-up, where I'm the object of attachment.
Yeah.
Like I used to think that I had to respond to all of that because I didn't want them to feel left hanging and I didn't want them to feel, you know, like unloved and unsupported. But that's my codependency. So now if I notice someone having a codependency flare-up, I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to give this some space and I'm going to let them have the realization that they get to return to themselves.
Totally.
And I'm not here to rescue their moment, you know? Mm-hmm. And that is me loving them.
That is like high emotional intelligence. I want to point that out right there because you're like so aware of like what's going on.
Yeah.
And then you can like move accordingly.
Yes.
Where you feel like it's best for all.
Yeah. It's like, this is my way of saying I love you is not saying anything right now.
Yes.
Because you're in a codependency flare-up.
Yes.
And I'm not trying to be part of that.
Right, the codependency flare-up. You can respond back with codependency.
Yes.
Yeah. It's almost like having, I see boundaries with that and like knowing like what's an unhealthy type of support. Because there's the enabling and then like actual true support, and it may look like giving them space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Cool. We both did love. That's so funny.
Yeah. It
makes sense. Like self-love. I mean, come on. Hello. Hey, everybody. We're going to read comments now. Robert says, thank you for sharing. Powerful, inspired. Hi, ladies. Love this. Yes. Oh, Kristen. Hello.
Thanks for the love.
Yes. And if you want to ask us any questions, or if you would like to respond to our questions, if there was a question that you liked, feel free to respond to that, because really good questions, right? Okay, let me look on Instagram. Let me see if there's any. Yeah. Rudy says, is it still smoky outside? Hey, I'm a Gemini too. Okay, Gemini Club. It is smoky. However, the smell is not as strong as yesterday. Yesterday you could smell the smoke, but today no. Yeah, so thank you all for joining. And yeah, my other selfie camera is blurry, so that's why I'm doing this. You don't see me, but yeah. Okay.
We're going to sign off.
Yeah, we're going to sign off. We'll see you all next week.